Thanks, Arik. Morning, everyone. Just requesting control. Yeah, I think this is a great segue into what probably is reality for most industries and any verticals, many organizations, and some of the things that we keep hearing from our customers very actively is post-COVID, we want to maintain business continuity. All the physical touch points that we had earlier, some of them have sort of moved away. But we still want to make sure that we give that customer assistance and the services that we give our customers at various touch points, whether it's initial sales, account management, or support, should continue to happen in a very effective and secure manner. That's essentially the gist of what I'll be covering today. Um, just making sure that control is here. Yeah. I think, and before I delve deeper into it, just want to make everyone understand how we understand virtual consult and what's the essence behind this particular topic, and the key value add that teams can present here. So, virtual consult can refer to scenarios where your end citizen consumers or your businesses, your partners, vendors, they would want to connect with a specific SME or some sort of a relationship manager, a support agent on the go to provide help or solve any specific problem. And this is a pretty broad definition. It encompasses a lot of scenarios. And today, it's pretty clear that most industries, most verticals already have such support systems and connects which exist today. But we feel, and a lot of our customers feel, that it does require certain transformation, it requires improvement. And broadly, the few important reasons why that's needed is because, first of all, in pre-COVID world, let's say there were a lot of physical touch points to actually have these consults, these meetings, which are probably not possible anymore. It's not prudent for either the customer or the end consumer to actually meet that regularly. Processes and collaboration are not very active in the current processes. These calls and consults happen in silos, one-on-one. There's very limited visibility into the whole aspect of this consult amongst the whole team members. Right? It's just a one-on-one consult, and how do you take that information back? How do you secure the data that you share is also not necessarily very compliant and secure. These are one of the few reasons why it requires transformation. And to shed more light on virtual consult, just to add more flavor, some sample scenarios to get your mind ticking. Banking and finance, we've heard a lot of scenarios from our customers. They're actively pursuing these opportunities and different stages of what they're building and different scenarios. But just to give you an example, if existing bank customers would want to connect to their relationship managers, if you talk about retail, and Arya covered a lot of it, if there is an avid shopper who would like to, and there's a big chunk of people who want to, make sure they want to visualize what they want before they actually make the purchase, before they make that decision. They would love to see these through a virtual consult. They would like to see the products before they actually make the purchase, right? And because they cannot go into the shop, these solutions, these technologies that Teams and other features offer really help there. Insurance is straightforward as well. My car has broken down. I want to make sure that the insurance agent is, aligned and connected on the go. My insurance is, needs to be updated. Can I get that connect as soon as possible? Again, very important one. And also hearing certain scenarios from government organizations as well, where you would want maybe, let's say, some of your ID cards updated, KYC done, facial recognition, bunch of services that usually require physical touch points can be avoided now. Before we move on to how teams help, just to share the lay of the land, what do we mean by virtual consult and how it happens? It's pretty simple, and I know that most industries, most of you are probably already doing this, but it's essentially connecting these citizen end users to your SMEs, which are sitting in offices or probably in specific silos, right? And there are different outreach channels. Today, there are industries that where consumers connect through their websites, through bots, or through forms. They have applications where there are invoking actions to connect with a customer care or their relationship managers. A lot of organizations have also extended the support to social media. That's another one where the consumers are always sitting active and would love to reach out to their partners or business connects. And lastly, there are some businesses that can also power these connects through SMSs, right? I can just message help to a certain number and then I get some sort of help beyond that. And what's another thing which is common is the communication method. Your customers can ask for video calls. Your customers can expect just audio or just support just through chat. Right? It totally depends on your scenario and what the customer expectation is. Now, considering that most of you here, your employees are sitting on Teams and probably the teams that manage customer connects are also using Teams, we want to make sure that we connect these citizen users to your SMEs using Teams. And the value adds that you get here is, first of all, you can have FAQ bots or certain touch points before the leads actually hit SMEs. Rather than tackling 100 leads or 100 tickets a day, you can actually shorten it to just 50 just by using a proactive bot that helps you answer some frequently asked questions. You can have customer insights for businesses, so your SMEs don't go into calls blind. They would probably get to know some information from the CRM. They have proactive notifications about the customer who's pinging you that captures certain aspects of the questions that they have, so that the SMEs are better prepared. You can today have tabs of all the collaterals that you might want to use during the call as well, right there before the call and during the call, maybe using meeting extensibilities or just a simple tab in a channel as well. And then obviously rostering mechanism, this is where the collaborative aspect comes into play. You can have a team or a channel of agents sitting together, and whatever incoming queries that we they can easily route it to specific people versus assigning it to certain set of people. And lastly, sharing information on these calls, we want to make sure that they're super secure and the right kind of information goes out of the organization versus what comes in. So start off with just dwelling a little deeper into the outreach channels, as I already discussed. Here are some very common basic examples. You can have banks where people are reaching out to you through the website. You can have branded mobile applications. You can have social media channels where you're reaching out to get some support on the go. And then you also have WhatsApp banking. That's another common one that we see and we hear from our customers as well. So it doesn't matter how your customer actually is trying to reach out to you. What's important is how do you queue those messages on time? How do you action it out in a secure manner? And how do you collaborate on it with your team members? If anyone has any questions, feel free to stop. So some example screens here just to show the experience, what Teams can help you achieve. Here, what you see is the citizen end user interface, maybe on a chat, a mobile application or a website that they're trying to connect with their respective agent. The Teams solution or the application allows to capture this information in a nice adaptive card. You have broad points listed right here, the information about your consumer, the query that they have, and also the request for setting up a time at a specific slot. And what's happening now is the agent is essentially creating scheduling a session to join a call with this consumer, and the same request goes back to the application or the website. And finally, both users join the call and have the meeting on Teams in a very secure manner. They're able to capture the notes, share information in a secure manner. And then whatever's happening before the call and after the call, it's very clearly captured by the application on Teams. So it's very readily available for the rest of the team. It's available for the managers to view. And the whole ticketing system is also very clearly mentioned that, hey, we have 10 tickets in the queue and 5 of them are actually getting actioned out, and the rest of them we're still figuring out, and we will be assigning it to some people. And one of the ways you can achieve this is just like my colleagues talked about certain low-code solutions. We have a template today that allows you to do that, which is called the Appointment Manager. And essentially what this is a Teams app template that helps businesses create, manage, conduct virtual appointments with consumers using Teams. The new appointment requests that come in from the consumers can be visible in Teams channels where they can quickly reassign to their staff members in a channel full of their team members. And usually the typical goals is through this particular app, the admins can configure different appointment categories that are routed to different Teams channels. So if there are 10, 12, 20 broad spectrums of support channels, let's say, you want to make sure that it reaches the right team member, it reaches the right queue, and that's how this template actually helps you achieve that. It's powered through. It's basically built on Power Apps. It requires notification. It gives you proactive notifications. It gives you action cards which can be used, adaptive cards that can be used in individual scope and in channel scope that you see here. And it's very easy to deploy and use, and also obviously easy to customize and extend it just to suit your specific scenario as well. Now, this is pretty standard. You have your agent on Teams. You're expecting your customer to also join on Teams. What if certain businesses want a little more customized experience where you do not really want to show your customer, first of all, that, hey, I'm powering my meetings or these connects using Teams. You also don't want them to shift context from whatever property or native app or website that they're using. Then how do you go about it? So certain examples about this, again, using the core platform components that we have. So here in this screen, what you see is an incoming customer request, which is captured through chat service, and it's been posted in a personal scope application that you see here called CRM leads, where it captures the customer information very briefly. The adaptive card gives you an option of viewing the lead, changing the status, and also scheduling a call. And what we can do here is, when we talk about collaboration and not just having these calls one-on-one, very private, is to, if the scenario requires you to connect with certain experts on this topic and the specific agent is not really sure, they can actually invite the experts on this call as well, just by invoking a task module that you see here. So two clicks of a button and you have the invite going both to the customer and to the expert in one go. And the experience that your end customer is seeing here is that what about scenarios where you want to embed this experience inside your app and website, just like I mentioned. So what's happening here is there is a banking application where there is an option to connect with your agent. It essentially invokes a bot that captures some basic information that what do you want to connect about, what is your specific query, and this helps the solution to route the query in a specific channel. What's happening is, once this information is collected, it goes back to the CRM leads application on Teams. Again, we have the adaptive card, we've sent the invite, and both consumers and the agent are joining the Teams call. But the big difference here is your end customer is actually joining the call on your native application without shifting context, without really having to install another app, or maybe just even understanding what's going in the backend. And your agent is actually on Teams, again, pulling the same meeting extensibility, where you have the application giving you further insights during the call as well. Now, it's a broad spectrum, a lot of things to consider, but a simple framework to go about this would be, once you have your scenario listed down based on your industry, based on how do you want to connect with your customers, you want to maybe understand what's the most popular communication channels for your customer. Are they most active on social media, and is your agent team also very active on social media, or an application that you have, or a website that you have, or maybe it's just based on SMS, right? It totally doesn't entirely matter. What's important is to understand that you are connecting these guys, and once you have the communication channels noted, you also want to think about what should be the customer interface. Should my customer be taking the call on Teams, or would I rather have the customer actually get an embedded experience inside my own application? If my customer spends a time on a specific website or an application that they use that I have built, I think it's prudent for me to just embed that experience right there, and that's possible too. And the options based on your scenario totally depends. If you're going for low-code template solutions and you want the customer interface to be Teams, you can use the templates that we have. Or if you want a little more custom solutions, you can actually build the experience that I showed. And again, that's just, those are screens, those are ideas, everything can be totally customized. And some other considerations that an additional value as that come in with Teams is, if you want to make sure that all calls and chats are recorded, we can provide compliance recording. You can have post consult or meeting analysis done by capturing all the information through this application in one place. You can have ticketing dashboard for the whole team to view, adding another layer of collaboration so that it's not super personal, and your managers and your team, everyone gets a clear view of it as well.